guys, what is going on? Rematch here, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting Combos. Today we do actually have a very special deck for you. Now the reason it's special is because I didn't make it. It's kind of not my creation, but I wanted to showcase this to you guys because I do find it to be an amazing deck and an amazing combination of cards that work very well together in a combination of colors that hasn't really been seen a lot lately since the Enchanted Grove came out. It's recently come up. If you guys watched my latest TV commentary video, you guys know which combination I'm talking about, but it's actually the blue-green. There hasn't been a whole lot of blue-green action for a while now, but recently in the ladder, it's starting to pop up more because you have the combination of Viking buff and chain with the powers of scoping, Phantom Strike, Dwarven Scope. Not to mention the treasure ramp you get from the pirates leads into your bigger Viking units more easily. There's just a lot of good stuff within the deck. We're going to show you guys that deck in 1 second. But before we do, I want to thank Grazit for showing the deck. The same user who actually named the Dwarven Catacombs deck for me actually came up with this deck concept, and after a match we had, I think 2 days ago, I found it to be just a really cool deck, and I want to do a video on it because it's just so amazing. You guys will see why that is in just a short time. So with that being said, let's get right into the deck list. So here is the deck list for what Grazis calls Thunder Dwarves. It's a very fitting name in my opinion because you have a lot of chain aspects and a lot of Thunder Strike and Lightning from the Vikings, but you also mix it in with Dwarves. And Dwarves have been, if you've been watching some of my recent videos, I mean, the latest hitting combo we did was a Dwarven Catacombs deck, so I've been experimenting with a lot of Dwarves myself. I find it to be a very powerful archetype and one that hopefully we'll see some more use in the future. I mean, it's seeing some play, but not as much as I think it should. But regardless, let's take a look in the deck concept, starting first with the whole chain aspect of the deck. Now, the theme of this deck, as the name implies, is focusing around chain and building up your whatever unit may be on the board to just be an unstoppable chain monster. Or maybe, I mean, that's a part of the deck. I wouldn't say it's a whole concept, kind of, just said words there for a second. But, well, let's take a look at the chain aspect of the deck, and we'll go from there. So essentially, we have Warrior starts out with a basic Thunderstrike unit. Not too special. I would say your 2-drop you're going to be hoping to have on you is the Dwarven Miner, but Warrior is not bad if you need an immediate Thunderstrike unit for 2 gold, and hence why he's only at 2, not a major part in the deck. We also have Fist of Donic. Now, Donic works very well here. Donic can't be really utilized fully in a regular chain deck. And that's because it doesn't really, the Dwarven plus 3 HP is a nasty combination. From Fist, that's why I kind of say Dwarven Miner is probably the one you want to have at you at all times, or on you, I should say, at all times. Because you can curve into, it's a perfect curve from Dwarven Miner into a Fist of Donic, and you now have created a 3/6 chain to Beast. And that can take a lot of effort for your opponent to get rid of early on. And maybe if you're lucky, even win them the game depending on what they have in their hands. So it's a great combination of, or it's a great thing to have, I should say, in the Dwarven deck, especially if you're running blue at the time. And I only get 2 though because, like I said, you want to utilize the +3 aspect or the +3 health aspect of this card. And you're not going to be able to do that if you put it on a Scout or Barbarian. And most likely you'll have Dwarven Miner on you, or another, Dwarven Sharpshooter, Bearer, Rider. But if you want to throw it earlier, and if you don't have that Dwarven unit, it's kind of why it's at 2. From there, we do have the Sleep to the Slaughter, a very powerful Viking card. People really haven't been using this card, and that's perfectly fine. It's sort of a tricky one to use, but essentially, giving all of the opponent, or not all of the opponent, giving your unit, or a unit, Thunderstrike, and having that hopefully attacking the unit, causing a chain damage of some sort. Either with the Thunderstrike, or if you have chain lightning on your guy, etc. So, and it's sort of like a mini win con, it's a mini win con if you're lucky enough to use it, or use it that way. But normally it's a good sort of removal, it's sort of a icebreaker in a sense. From there, we have the Grudge Bearer with his own Thunderstrike. Again, a card that hasn't really been used a lot with Dwarven decks or Thunderstrike decks because he's, basically a dwarf. So People aren't using dwarves and not really using Grudge Bearer, but the Thunderstrike aspect plus the Last Will does not hurt to have in this deck. Although it is slow, hence the 2 copies. And then of course Lightning Blade and Yarm Giant, which you guys already probably know why it's in here. They're great lightning units. They're great chain cards. I mean, Blade isn't a unit, but they're great chain cards to use in any sort of chain deck. So having those in here is sort of like a necessity almost. But we also see in the deck a lot of pirate stuff. Not to, pretty much, I think the pirate things that are important to take notice of here is the ramp and the range, the double R's of the pirates. Um, Now we do have sharpshooter in here, and that's sort of it goes along with the whole dwarf theme. Um, but that's not really why we're throwing pirates into the mix here. We're utilizing pirates for the treasure aspects, of course, mugging and Southport Captain. The latest 3K deck I did utilized Southport Captain heavily in helping us ramp into our bigger units. So having him in here is sort of like a necessity because you do want to ramp out to things like Dino Rider, Tyrannosaurus, Swordsman earlier on than you normally would. And Monkey doesn't hurt to have either as a way to further your ramp, or if you need to little removal there, because this deck also doesn't really have a lot of direct damage removal. You're going to be relying on your units to trade a lot of times, or just overpower an enemy unit. So mugging acts as a sort of like a remedy to the lack of removal in here. In addition to the treasure ramp, though, we do have a lot of range, or not a lot of, but we do have pirate range as well. Notably Phantom Strike, which is interesting to throw in a deck. It is 1 gold, and it does give that +1 range. So it's sort of like a cheap Dwarven Scope, but then we also have the Dwarven Scope at 3, obviously. A very powerful, probably one of the most powerful pirate cards. I almost said piking. Pirate cards in the game right now. So it makes sense that it's at 3, and it works with the whole Dwarven theme. So aside from that, I've already kind of brushed over all the other Dwarven units that we have here. I think the only thing I didn't touch up on was the Dino Rider. That sort of goes along with the whole 5, 6, 7, 9 and a late game here. We do have a lot of RAM from the captains and the mugging, so getting them out earlier won't be a problem. And of course, Dino Rider at 3 fits the whole Dwarven theme of the deck. Plus, the Tyrannosaur and Swordsman also work as very powerful late game units that go very well with chain or scope. And yeah, I mean, everything else is sort of, I want to say, somewhat standard stuff. I think the only thing that might be different from what you guys are seeing is the addition of Call to War. Originally, Grozit had Master Thieves in here, but I don't think those were powerful enough. Sure, they provided some additional ramp, and you could certainly try with the Master Thieves if you guys are interested in more ramp. But I threw in Call to War just to have fun with it. The soldier pool is probably the second biggest card pool right now, so picking from that, there's no bad pulls you can get. So if you want things like Hassan City, Knight of Flowers, Sniper, Scout, all those kind of units, it's not bad to have maybe 2 Call to Wars on you for that little fun RNG aspect in your deck. And yeah, like I said, the other things are pretty standard. You've got Barbarian, you've got Scout, you've got Battle Ready. All sort of go in hand with the buff aspects of the deck, and I guess Scout and Barbarian are sort of standard units, but Battle Ready, again, just additional buffs that you could throw into this Viking Pirate buff chain deck. So, with that being said, that is Thunder Dwarves deck list, so let's hop in right to the matchup and see how it fares. So starting off our match here, we don't exactly have the strongest of hands. We have both the Tyrannosaurs and the Lightning Blade. I'm going to keep the Lightning Blade for now in case we get a unit, but definitely going to swap out these 2 Tyrannosaurs because I don't want 2 6 gold units late in the game. Alright, for a second there I was nervous, but we do have the Scout and the Grudge Bearer, so we're going to have to hopefully... Okay, he doesn't throw anything this turn, but we can push with the Lumberjack, which will be nice. Okay. I see. I'm trying to think in my head a little bit. He's got the yellow-blue, so that indicates War Party. We do see the Guardian as well, and that's definitely a more common unit to pair with War Party nowadays. But I'm gonna position our scout here to I want to probably get the lightning blade on and get some early damage, something that he's not expecting. I'm hoping a group of units as well for, us to take out. All right, the archives, but will he move his guy? He will move it in the wrong position. Okay, fine with us. We have the opportunity to play lightning blade now, so we're gonna go 5-6 straight to face here. Hit 5 plus additional 3 from the blade. We'll kill that off. We'll kill off the archive. You can't get a draw from it, and we'll position our lumberjack to go face. But we'll have to see what happens. We do have a lot of good lightning stuff as well. We do have the Yarm scope combination. Alright, well, that's something. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to position our grudge bearer to do a Thunderstrike scope attack, depending on what he's going to summon right now. And I'm still thinking in my head this could be a War Party deck. I just don't see, Okay, there's the Paladin. Where's the Paladin going? Because I want to see where that goes. If it goes behind the Guardian, then we can take it out with a Dwarven Scope Thunderstrike combination. Dwarven Miners? Okay, well that one's just going to run away for some reason. You know what? Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do a Dwarven Scope onto our Grudge Bear, because I don't want to deal with that Guardian whatsoever. None of his guys are in a position to attack mine, which is good. And we could also throw out a Southport Captain. And that Captain's going to help us ramp into Yarm Giant next turn to, surprise our opponent. Because we'll have 7 plus 2 is 9, and 9 will give us the Yarm Giant. So we're looking at a great place right now. And this is a good power to the... Oh, Dwarven Weapons. That's cute, but that's not going to do much. With my scoped Grudge Bear. You really... Yeah. Positioning is going to be quite important for you here. Because where are you going to put your guys? Yeah, away from my scope. With none of your guys able to touch me. Okay. Fair enough. What we'll do is, I think now is a good time to back up our Grudge Bear a little bit. Take out Yarm, say hello to, introduce him to him. I can't use the English language for some reason. We'll introduce him to Yarm, and then we're gonna trade our Lumberjack for the draw. I'm thinking it's fine to sacrifice the Lumberjack for the draw here. We do weaken the Dwarven Miner to all of the chain stuff we have, so not too much of a loss there. And for our Captain, we're gonna keep him. We're going to keep him right here. I know the Guardian can kill him, but we can also take a positive trade on that Guardian as well. We do have the reposit damage of 4, so that Guardian, unless he's getting a health buff, is dying. Another Dwarven Weapons play, not going to be useful for the Guardian if you want to trade, but sure, you can go ahead. Feel free. Be my guest. You got to position them a bit differently, though, because of how I'm looking. I have a Thunderstrike Yarm coming into face, and you're not doing anything to block off a Thunderstrike damage. That's kind of how it is. Notice how we didn't take the Guardian trade. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, he's afraid. Pushing all of my units back. And I can't really blame him. Although his guys are getting pretty close. Unfortunately. So how are we gonna respond? Well, let's summon out our Dwarven Sharpshooter here. We're gonna take the Yarm face damage. Because him putting that Knight of Flowers there means we had a double chain, and that'll do additional damage. Excuse me, I had a weird little thing there. But it's going to be a bit tougher here. Because he's got the Viking chain possibilities. We're going to leave our dwarves there. I don't think he can hit anything. And then, yeah, we're going to leave it at that. Because again, we don't I want him to trade at least one of these guys with the captain, because we're going to take that trade. Okay, so he'll take out the Yarm with the captain. Oh no, Guardian to captain, Yarm to miner. I'm losing my words here for a second, guys. You know, it's been a day, but we are getting a lot of trades here, and he's down to 2 cards as well. If we do get a buff, I would like a battle ready for sharpshooter right this time. Mugging, not the worst. We can still use that to our advantage here. We can disable the paladin a little bit, do some damage there. And then... Yeah, let's throw our T-Rex up. We could throw one T-Rex up because that miner is going to have to attack it to kill it. The paladin can't reach us. He's got to use something from his hand here. And this is letting us test his hand a little bit, see what he's got for us. I don't think he's got anything though, down to 2 cards. He can certainly have a buff, but that may not help him a bit. You got the Minotaur, but you need to trade it. Well, actually, no, you could do both. I'm thinking there's like an order to attack, but there's really not. You could attack whichever one you want first, but the fact is, you just put 2 guys into... Okay. He's only put 1. That's setting himself up for chain damage. Lucky I don't have it. But he's going to surrender anyway, because that T-Rex is going to chomp face and win the game. Alright, so not bad of a match with it. A very solid deck. We didn't really test a whole lot of the chain lightning effects there, but you see when we put that Grudge Bearer scope combination together, it sort of forced the enemy to take unfavorable positions with, you know, placing his units and making sure they don't line up for a Thunderstrike or a chain, which allowed us to hit some face damage. That mistake at the end did cost him the game, the whole fearing. He needed to kill that T-Rex, but didn't really effectively do it. He could have, you clearly saw it, he could have taken out the T-Rex with the Miner and the Minotaur, or just trade the, not Minotaur, yeah, Minotaur Miner, and then moved up, well, actually not even. You could have used the Miner Berserker and then moved the Minotaur up to threaten me. That would have been an equally, if not better, choice for you. But overall, very solid game with the deck. I love it a lot. If you guys, again, haven't tried it or want to try it, I highly encourage it. And with that being said, guys, let's move right into the outro. With that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video today. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure you leave a like on the video, share with your friends, and comment down below your thoughts on the deck list. Or if you're using the deck, tell me how you're doing again in the comments section below. And a huge thanks for Grazit for showing me the deck. I enjoyed using it, and I enjoyed playing against him and playing deck on my own and seeing how it is. Overall, just an amazing deck. And if you guys want to talk more to Grazit or me or any other member of the CNC community, I'll leave a link to the Cards and Castles official Discord channel down below where you guys can come and talk to us. A lot of us frequent there, so wouldn't hurt to have any new faces show up, so you're more than welcome to join. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, show your support to the channel, and help us grow, all by simply clicking that subscribe button. And with that being said, guys, until next time, stay gaming.